Welcome to Tales of the Lesser Medium, a podcast that pokes fun at video game narratives. I'm your narrator, Caleb J. Ross, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Aye, Caleb, ahoy there, matey. The only thief's end you're gonna see tonight is when Sir Nathan Drake turns all ye way round there and shows you his Davy Jones locker. Ripe booty to plunder, matey. Huh?
I really hope that this episode's about pirates. It's going to be awkward.
It's got some in it.
It's
got some in it. Yep.
Yeah.
You know it does. Come on.
I do. I kid. I digest both. Sometimes I kid and I jest at the same time. I zig. Yeah, that was Travis. That was my co-host, Travis Terry. As always, we'll be taking you through our favorite video game franchise narratives, interjecting with humorous skits and commentary along the way to make you laugh and to make us wish we grew up in a Catholic orphanage so that we too could learn how to shimmy up rock cliffs and lost jungles to eventually acquire an attic full of priceless treasures like Nathan Drake, because somehow an attic where nobody will ever see the treasure is a better holding spot than a lost jungle where also nobody will ever see the treasure. I don't get it.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I'm going to give 2 points to you out of the gate. You're taking an early lead here.
Wow. This is unprecedented. Not only unprecedented that I'm in the lead so early, but unprecedented that we're keeping score.
Yeah, new thing I'm doing.
I like it. Yep. It's been a wonderful, scary, weird, and emotional journey so far, from the initial sparks between Elena and Nate in Uncharted 1 to Chloe's jealousy turned acceptance in Uncharted 2, all the way through to Elena and Nate's return to romance in Uncharted 3. Oh, it's so great. Now, what will Uncharted 4 bring us, huh? Will Chloe return with a full cocktail and an arm eager to throw it in Elena's face because of the whole jealousy thing? I don't know. Or will Elena be convincing enough for Nate to succumb to domesticity? And then what about Charlie? I mean, will Charlie wedge Nate and Elena apart for his own selfish carnal desires?
Caleb, buddy, I think you're leaning a little too hard into this romance piece. I mean, I tend to remember a lot of rootin' and tootin' and shootin' and treasure and zombies and remember the tree sap? That was weird.
Yeah, that was hot. Very romantic.
Well, okay.
Apology accepted. Hey, I don't think I'm focusing way too much on the romance, okay? I think there's plenty of it to be. I think there's more to be unearthed, because maybe Chloe, she'll finally proclaim her love for the zombie Nazi from Uncharted 1, huh? Or maybe the zombie Nazi, might turn her down in favor of the blue-skinned Yeti creature from Uncharted 3. That could be hot.
It's I'm glad you brought the zombies into it, but it's not what I meant.
I think it is. Uncharted 4 is easily the biggest Uncharted game to date. So sit back, relax into the arms of your favorite fiery-eyed human-like hallucination. That's an Uncharted 3 reference. And enjoy the tale of Uncharted 4, A Thief's End.
And let me get this I just need to get this out of my system. I did it a little bit earlier, a little bit out of the gate there. A Thief's End, just Nathan's butt. Okay? That's A Thief's End. Also, if you like that pirate accent from earlier, you're in luck.
And if you didn't, sorry. Because it's gonna be it's gonna be harsh. It's gonna be harsh for the next several hours. How long are we doing this?
We're gonna be cutting out about 3 hours. You're right.
Yeah, most of it is gonna be impromptu ad lib pirate talk. We might enjoy it, but it's not really for the listener. We open this game, as is tradition with all the other games. We open with an epigraph. I am a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune. This comes from an English pirate who operated in the 17th century.
Henry Avery, huh? Another epigographer. I'm getting tired of these goddamn epigographers. We don't need them in every game. They always say something basic and stupid, and it's supposed to set the tone for the whole game. This guy's just saying, I like stuff. I'm going to go find it.
Oh, man, that's a way to start a game. I love it. I'm on the opposite side as you, Travis. I think it's great.
Okay.
So it's not surprising then that this game doing what all of the other games have done before. It's not surprising that we fade into action, that we're on a boat, on an ocean, in the middle of a violent storm. And Nate, he's doing his best to steer the boat not only through the rough waters, but also away from a fleet of other boats, tagged with the word shoreline, that for some reason these boats want Nate dead. Now, thankfully, Nate is not alone. He's got a partner, a new face to the series, and this guy knows how to shoot a gun.
Finally, a guy that knows how to shoot a gun around here.
Nate and his new partner trade gunfire with the enemy ships, but not like baseball card trading. It's a little bit more violent than that.
I'll give you 2 gunfires for a Jose Canseco rookie.
That's a good deal, actually. That's pretty good, right?
Not bad. It's not. Well, I think, yeah.
I don't know. What's those baseball cards are worth these days? So they trade this gunfire with the enemy ships. That's just a fancy word of saying they shoot each other until the inevitable happens. One of the shoreline ships rams Nate's ship, causing a dramatic capsizing. So dramatic, in fact, that it punts us all the way into the past. Yeah.
Whoa.
Enter our first of probably many flashbacks.
So many flashbacks. But people are wondering, who was that other guy in the boat with Nate? The guy that knew how to do the shooty? Huh? Who dat?
We don't know yet. Maybe that's what they call a cliffhanger. Maybe, I don't know. There's lots of those in these games, hanging on cliffs. Maybe we'll find out later. I don't know. They're friendly though. That's good news. So the flashback that we're in now, it frames a young Nate, and he's sitting opposite a nun in the orphanage in which Nate was raised. We learned about Nate's parentless childhood in Uncharted 3. The nun interrogates young Nate about his black eye. Apparently, a group of bullies stole Nate's book, and nobody steals books from Nathan Drake. We've learned that many times in the past, all right? Apparently, a fight ensued, black eyes were exchanged, and here we are, getting reprimanded by a nun who, I'm going to guess, doesn't even know how to throw a good punch.
You know, she can't throw a good punch, but she can loft a good prayer at the Lord, and that's what matters most. to her, anyway.
I mean, I understand. I get it. I understand. The last time I prayed, I got a flag called on me for holding, and I thought that was the point of prayer, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I was doing it wrong.
Well, yeah, it could have been.
Once Nate is left alone in his room, a flashing light outside his window catches his eye. Instinctively, Nate knows this to be his brother Sam, also once an orphan, now a young adult, to whom Nate looks up to for better, and as we'll learn, for worse.
Would it be more sad if Nathan was an orphan but his brother wasn't? How come you get loved?
The parents could only afford one, and they chose the cuter one. I don't know, man. That's how it goes.
Turns out they rolled the wrong dice on that move.
I don't know.
Nathan turns out to be real handsome. Sam, are you kidding me?
Yeah. He has a bit of a hairline issue, I think.
The 7 head on that gentleman. My goodness.
But I empathize. My wife says that I have a 5 head, so I get it.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
2 more heads.
Nate escapes his room to the rooftops of the many buildings in this sprawling orphanage complex. He Spider-Mans his way across the rooftops until finally reaching his brother. So what's the occasion? Well, Sam, Nate's brother, has a gift for his younger brother. And that gift? Sam has learned the whereabouts of an artifact collector who bought a bunch of their mom's old stuff. Now, we don't know what this stuff is, but we do know it's important. Sam and Nate then take off to get the stuff back by any means necessary.
Well, I only know of one quote-unquote means in which Nathan gets stuff back, and it's not by hoping it hits the shelves at the local Goodwill. He just gonna go get it.
All right, fair point. Okay, so it's by one specific means necessary. We're talking about a good old-fashioned rob job.
Old-fashioned.
They mount Sam's motorcycle, and don't worry, the motorcycle is cool with it, and they speed off into the gentle fade of a cutscene into the future in a prison yard. So in case you couldn't hear it over Travis's laughter, which is the appropriate response to my huge joke, we are in the future now. We're back into the present, I guess, to an older Nate. And we're in a prison yard where present-time Nate is getting his ass beat in a fight with another inmate. Now, given the architecture of this prison, it seems they are possibly somewhere in South America, and given Nate's still delightfully quick wit, even when receiving a bunch of knuckles to the face, we could also be somewhere in any goddamn place. Nathan never stops with jokes, and I love him for it. A few guards eventually step in to stop the fight. Nate gets dragged off into solitary confinement.
You know, and my method of fighting is also to make enough witty quips to hopefully stifle their anger to open up an opportunity for a strike. Or, if they laugh enough, we become best friends. I just need people to laugh at me for validation, Caleb, and I appreciate you for that as someone who is, right? You're prescribed to laugh at me while we do this podcast. You truly are my bestest friend. I mean it. I mean it.
Friends. Good one. Sometime later, one of the prison yard. No, me too, Travis. Me too. I'm also my best friend. Sometime later. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're great, Travis. You're cool. You're swell. Just kidding. I love you, buddy. Sometime later, one of the prison yard guards, named Vargas, enters Nate's cell to retrieve him. Vargas leads Nate down into a series of underground stone tunnels, likely the remains of the medieval dungeon upon which the prison now sits. It turns out that the prison is a converted castle, and some of the castle towers can actually still be seen towering above the tree line.
Castle prison seems kind of cool. It seems like a medieval camp, summer camp for prisoners. Like they might have fun at castle prison. But then you got to think like it lacks a lot of modern prison amenities probably, like, floors and aqueduct and lights and probably walls that don't let bugs in. I'm just saying, like, it sounds cool, probably not cool.
Yeah, it was really cool for a while when they tested like the whole bouncy house castle motif in the prison, but the prisoners were able to get out real easy. But even though this is an old prison, I will say the latrine wine is, dare I say, even better than modern day toilet wine.
Wow. Okay. A lot of bacteria, I bet.
Once the two men reach the outdoors, it's revealed that Nate's dismissal into solitary confinement is actually part of an elaborate plan to reach one of the nearby towers on a hunt for treasure at the behest of a man named Rafe.
Rafe? If you name your kid Rafe, you just committed child abuse. I'm sorry, you did. And if you named him not Rafe, but Rafe still ends up being the nickname from that bigger name,
yeah,
still child abuse. You're still in it.
The kid's original name was Raphaelington. It's totally dumb. Like
it's
weird.
Get out of here with that.
Vargas, it turns out, is an inside man helping Nate, but he reveals here, with Nate still handcuffed, that he wants in on the deal. He wants more than just his payment for being a prison Sherpa. He wants a cut of the treasure.
I'll pass it to Kobe. Kobe pass it to me. I dunk on the prison Sherpa.
That's mean, Check. Vargas, having the upper hand here, decides to spend a few moments reading from an old note written by one of Henry Avery's very, very, very piratey crew members.
I was a member of Captain Henry Avery's crew. I occupy the highest cell in the Spaniards' prison. I hope someday ye will find ye way into this infernal place, bear my cross, and discover the reaches of paradise, landlubber.
I noticed you threw in a few extra R's in there. Why was that?
You have to have that pirate rhythm. If you don't remind people every 2-3 seconds that you're actually a pirate and you're not just really bad at a Sean Connery accent, they might lose out on the character. So just trying my best over here. And that actually might have been too loud. I apologize for everyone that got pirated super hard. But Caleb will defend me here. I do the whole eye thing and everything. I'm in character over here. I sawed off my hand. I just have a hook.
Oh man, I love it. I think all characters are best delivered with consistent, reliable reminders to the audience of what their character is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I used to do mime work. Most of my work was me telling the audience out loud that I'm stuck in a box, that I'm pulling various ropes.
As you can see, I am stuck in a box.
Yeah.
I am now pulling down a piano.
They did not like the show, but they knew I was a mime the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
So Nate, he tries to dismiss the whole riches of paradise as just a metaphor, but Vargas isn't having it. Vargas is a smart guy. And Nate tells Vargas that he's got to take the issue up with Rafe. Rafe is the big boss guy. He's the guy with the money, right? And with that squabble settled, Vargas frees Nate to do his Spider-Manning up the tower walls and into the crewmate's cell. Of course, once Nate arrives, he finds no actual treasure. Rather, he finds a bunch of nonsense puzzles leading him to a small crucifix, which in Uncharted land means he only found another clue. And it's actually technically not a crucifix. A crucifix is a representation of Jesus. The dude tied to this cross is Saint Dismas, the penitent thief.
And I was just about to point that out. When you said that, I was like, that's not a crucifix. A crucifix is a reputation of whatever you said. And I also want to point out that it's
Traysure.
not treasure.
It's Traysure.
You gotta pronounce the Traea, Traysure.
Put a few Y's and way more R's in there. Yeah, you got it.
Got it. I can do that. All right. Well, all this stuff that Travis already knew, it's all explained a few minutes later when Nate reunites with his rapscallion brother Sam and their rich benefactor Rafe, who are also prisoners in this castle prison. So after all that happens, Sam connects that this non-crucifix is a clue leading them to the Cathedral of St. Dismas in Scotland.
Heck yeah, dude. A trip to Scotland. Imagine being locked away in castle prison, and you're like, dude, I get to go to Scotland. I bet Nate is totally stoked. I mean, he breaks out of South American prison. He's got to get that passport to fly. Probably pretty easy to get somewhere around a castle prison no one knows about. Then you got to get money because flights, they ain't cheap. Then you probably got to find some clothes because they're going to be looking for a guy that escaped from castle prison. And then you have to tell Vargas bye. You got to make sure you tell him goodbye. So a lot of things to think about here for Nate before he heads off to Scotland.
I was on board with you until you said he had to say goodbye to Vargas, because it's not that easy. It's not that easy, apparently. So Vargas discovers that Nate and Sam had hid the non-crucifix from him, which means all of Nate, Rafe, and Sam's inside help now is severed. Yeah, Vargas is understandably pissed about having hidden this clue to the treasure from him. So instead, the three thieves have to do their thief stuff. They blow some stuff up. They kill a bunch of guards. They navigate through rioting inmates. And sadly, they have to leave Sam behind, dead in the chaos. Yeah. Let's flash ahead. It's 15 years later. And Nate, he's taken on a traditional job using his adventuring skill set. He's a diver working for a salvage rescue company called Jameson Marine that recovers lost cargo in lake beds from wrecked semi-trucks. So he basically fishes out crates of iPods and graphics cards driven by coked-up truckers on ill-fated cross-country voyages.
Wait, diving? Yeah, he doesn't dive all that often. That's not his skill set. And his skill set's hanging on to shit, climbing monkey bars.
There's just not as many semi-trucks that crash into ancient lost cities, I guess.
He could be a skyscraper window washer. How about that? He's up there hanging and dangling in the middle of the city. That's a job for Nathan Drake.
That makes sense. I mean, or if he wants to hang up all the physical stuff, he's pretty funny. He could be a stand-up comedian.
Right. Yeah. You know what he could also be? Jet ski tester. You wonder, somebody's got to be doing it. I mean, those things out there hitting the water, somebody's got to be
able to drive any jet ski he picks up very well. Like, he just knows it.
Right. He could also be, we could bring the monkey bars back into it, monkey bar tester. Somebody's got to do it for these kids. Got to test them for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
In Uncharted 3, he was really nice to Charlie when Charlie was tripping balls. So he could be like a wingman for hire.
Yeah. You know what he could be? In addition to a wingman for hire, he could just be a play tester for really hard puzzle games. Because he has to. Well, I guess not really hard puzzle games, just any puzzle game, because the puzzles usually aren't that hard. Just puzzle games. He
could just be a guy who can solve easy puzzles. Like if there's a company out there that needs that needs to pay someone to solve pretty rudimentary puzzles, he could do that.
He could do that. You know what? He's also good with a Jeep winch. I don't know if there's a job for that, but he could do that.
Hey, all right, this is good, man. I don't know why he spent all this time diving. That sounds lame. So he's at this Jameson Marine, and after a hard day's work, he retires to his home to spend quality time with his wife, Elena, whom we've become very familiar with over the last 3 Uncharted games. That's right, they're married. I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but they are. Aww. This scene, it's actually punctuated by a really amazing mini-game of sorts in which you, the player, as Nate, play the original Crash Bandicoot on an in-game PlayStation 1 system. The scene is really incredible. Not only is the novelty of playing a full Crash Bandicoot game one of developer Naughty Dog's original hits, not only is that just simply beautiful, but Nate's commentary as he plays is delightfully ignorant. He obviously is not a gamer, and Crash is in many ways a proxy of what the character Nathan Drake would become, a character who navigates bad guys and traps in remote jungles. Nate comments on the absurdity of the trap layout, questioning why, for example, a boulder would suddenly start chasing Crash, or why Crash is so insistent on smashing crates, as though Nate himself hasn't spent his entire lifetime doing essentially the same thing. And my favorite exchange, we got to play it for you here, is when Nate steers Crash into a pit.
Oh, what happened?
You fell in the pit.
I don't know. How do I climb back up?
You're dead.
Well, that's not realistic. I would have climbed back up. You should learn to climb. Oh, that poor fox.
Bandicoot.
That's a great scene. I love that scene. So fun. And there might even be a callback, a little Crash callback later in the... I don't know if it comes up in the script. I'll just say it here. Nate's chased by a boulder. He has to run toward the screen. Wow. So cool.
Who has seen it? So later that evening, after Elena has gone to bed and Nate is left finishing up some kind of capsized semi-truck paperwork, there's a knock at the door. Enter, or shall I say re-enter, Sam.
Oh, hey there, Sam. Are you supposed to be dead?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be dead. But I'm here now. Woohoo! I need your help. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm still alive.
Get you and that big old forehead in here, you.
So the two of them, they talk until morning, until Sam reveals the reason for his return. See, he's in a lot of trouble, money-wise. See, Sam's cellmate during his final years in prison, because apparently he didn't die in prison, he survived the whole riot thing and just lived the rest of his last 15 years in prison. Well, his cellmate in this prison was a well-known Panamanian drug lord named Hector Alcazar.
Wow, that's just a perfect drug lord name. I mean, you can't draw it up better than that.
Yeah, they wasted all their good naming on Hector Alcazar. That's how they came up with Rafe in this in this script. In exchange for helping Sam escape, Sam promised to lead Hector to Henry Avery's fabled riches. And after an action-packed escape from the prison, Alcazar gives Sam 3 months to find the treasure. If he fails, Alcazar will find Sam and kill him.
Oh, man. We're in quite a pickle here. A treasure pickle.
That's right. So the official start of this pickle is now. Here we are. Sam needs Nate's help to find the treasure. Otherwise, Sam dies. Nate, however, is hesitant to tell his wife about this illegal treasure hunt because, well, Nate has supposedly once again given up the treasure hunting lifestyle. So Nate, he concocts a bit of a lie. He tells Elena that he is going to Malaysia on a company-sanctioned dive. And the story isn't entirely false. There really is a dive in Malaysia that he's considered going on. So at least Nate doesn't have to do a bunch of logic somersaults to keep his story straight over the coming days.
Yeah, he shouldn't have to worry about a bunch of lying when he should be focused on lying. Huh?
Yeah, that makes logical sense to me. So what about the third thief, Rafe? Yeah, where's he been? What's he been up to? Well, according to Sam, Rafe spent his family's fortune. That's right, he has a fortune.
And a family,
treasure.
You know?
And a family,
that's got to be something
weird.
Nate and Sam are like, well, seriously, what the fuck? He's got it
Why
all.
do you get the money and the love?
Jesus.
That's weird. So according to Sam, Rafe spent his family's fortune to buy up all the land around St. Dismas's cathedral and has been digging on the land ever since their prison escape. So far, he's found nothing. But that doesn't mean Sam and Nate are out of leads. Apparently, a second St. Dismas cross has been found and is currently set to be black market auctioned off in 3 days at an invite-only gathering of rich collectors at the Rossi estate in Italy. This cross is different, though. It appears to contain a note within its hollowed central cavity. Sam and Nate must attain that note. It's their only lead, and they have to hope that Rafe doesn't have the same plan. See, there's been a bit of a falling out between Rafe and the Drake brothers over the years. Rafe's become greedy and villainous, enough, I'd say, to officially be this Uncharted game's villain.
Well, you know, all it really takes to be an Uncharted villain, one, you got to have a pretty weird haircut. People got to see you coming with that hairdo of yours. And also, you just got to want the thing that Nate wants to. And then boom, villain. Bad haircut, want the thing.
That's true, and it would be weird if the villain and the hero actually wanted the exact same thing, and it'd be really bad if they just like found out about that way too late. So like, give me some villain talk, Travis.
I've got the keys to this nuclear reactor, and I'm going to set it to blow and destroy the world.
No, don't do it! Don't do it!
Who's there? No, I'm destroying the world. You can't stop me, whoever's there. No.
Oh, it's me, the guy who's gonna stop you from doing that. Don't do it. You and me, we're different people. We're never gonna agree. Never.
Yeah, but come on. Think about it. I'm going to destroy all of the people that are... People are a nuisance, right? Don't get me wrong. People are a nuisance.
Oh, you're gonna destroy the people?
Yeah, get rid of most of the people, and then we'll have access to all the banks and all the money.
Banks and all the money. Oh my God, that's what I'm here for.
And the world is mine. Mine.
Man, I want it to be mine too. This is great. This is great. We should team up. Like, we should be like, why were we fighting? This whole time we were fighting. We wasted so many resources chasing each other around the fucking globe.
I had no idea you wanted to take over the world and kill most of the people too. This is incredible.
Most of the people suck, right?
Seriously, honestly, most of the people, no good could do without them. Honestly,
okay.
Right?
This is great. Oh my God. Let's high five. And then maybe high five again, like 3 or 4 times. I'm all up for it.
Okay,
and
here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Some people. Let's do it.
Why is it always so wet with you?
I like a wet high five. Nothing good. Nothing like a wet high five before bed. So the plan is simple enough. First, Sully. Oh yeah, by the way,
Sullivan's back.
Sullivan's back. You're right. So first, he's gonna schmooze his way into the auction, as he has connections to the people running it, because of course he fucking does. And once inside, he will unlock a second-story window in a back room to allow Nate and Sam to enter. Now, why a second-story window instead of a first-floor window? Because Uncharted loves climbing animations.
That's right. And if you're wondering how Sully has that connection to the people running this high-end auction, probably has something to do with his mustache. Let's just assume.
Of course it does. Now the plan does seem simple, but Sam and Sully have a bit of a rocky history that's only touched on here. Sam doesn't fully trust Sully. Nate absolutely fully trusts Sully, or truly fists Sully. I can't really tell what I wrote here. This autocorrect is perverted as fuck.
It really isn't great, is it?
But no matter, there's conflict at every turn, making for an engaging narrative.
And I said this at the end of one of our episodes. I don't really trust either of them. I definitely don't trust Sully. That mustache has had me second guessing that man day one. I haven't, and maybe it's something from my childhood. I don't trust a man with a mustache. Even Sam Elliott. I'm not comfortable with him in that movie Prancer. I don't feel right. I don't think he's good around deer. Also, Sam. Sure, he's our brother, but he's probably got prison cooties.
Ooh.
And I don't mean that as in like he's gross and he's going to get itchy bugs on me. I just mean sometimes you get in that prison life, 15 years, especially in maybe a country in a prison system that doesn't take care of their prisoners like we do. Just kidding. That's sarcasm. That's a /S. I'm just saying maybe he has some bad intentions that he's not being clear about. So I'm just saying, I don't trust either of these guys. I find Nate to be a little bit of a gullible goose.
I see, even if he does have prison cooties, I do question the validity of the cooties testing protocol in prisons. I mean, someone had to have put one of those paper foldy cooties testers from grade school up their butt and smuggled that into the prison. Paper doesn't really hold up under butt scrutiny. It's going to be pretty flappity and floppity, that paper is. And so
you and I would know, wouldn't we?
We would. That's all we smuggled in when we were in prison together was paper, exclusively paper. I don't know why. It didn't
we
make
had
any
to
sense.
write. You wrote 3 of your novels while we were in prison doing
right.
that.
I once smuggled in a roll of toilet paper, which seems really backwards somehow. Like, right. I don't know. I mean,
not wipe-worthy on the other side of that.
Yeah,
but, good experiment.
When I pulled it out, I had the cleanest butthole in prison, which made me quite popular.
It sure did, bud.
Yep. You remember
Sure
that long week. All right. Other than this small trust hiccup, the infiltration goes off surprisingly without a hitch. Once inside, the two thieves blend into the sea of rich assholes like a whale's butthole stuffed full of dollar bills. With tuxedos and all, right?
Is that a saying they have in Kansas? It is a saying
that people say. Remember the second week in prison? That's all we could say.
I try to forget it, but yeah.
Avery's cross is unfortunately literally taking center stage in the main auction room. Nabbing the cross without anyone noticing will be impossible in the light. So the three thieves, they form a plan to make the light go away. Nate will kill the power, Sam will disguise himself as a waiter so that he can get close to the cross, and Sully will keep watch from a safe distance.
Yeah, I was like, hey, the power went out. Wait, why do all these people look slightly different? Something must be weird. Huh.
With the brothers busy, Sully roams the asshole sea. He runs into an old acquaintance, Nadine Ross, owner of an army for hire called Shoreline. Now you may recognize the name Shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
It's the name that was written across the enemy boats during the opening boat sequence. So it looks like we've found another villain. And would you believe she's working for Rafe?
I mean, I've seen dust turn people into zombies. I'm willing to believe literally whatever you say.
Nadine and Rafe are, not surprisingly here, for the exact same reason that Sam, Nate, and Sully are, to get Avery's cross. But who will end up with it?
Who could really guess? But you know what I wish they would have done? A little bit of a Hunger Games thing, right? Put it in the middle, do a little countdown from 10, let them all sprint to the middle and get it or shoot each other. That would have been fun.
I have a feeling all of the people in that room are very used to shooting people. So it probably would have been over pretty quick.
Just that little triangle of death, bang, bang, bang. Or did you just hear one gunshot, but literally three went off at the same time?
Yeah, they're all on it. They're all packing.
That's a real good, bad, and the ugly move. I love it.
Well, if the three previous games are any indication, Nate will end up with it, and then he'll jot down all of its clue residue in his notepad, and then the bad guys will catch him and take the artifact, basically ensuring that Nate and the bad guys are always rubber banding each other's progress.
That's a great point.
Yeah. It's what we call sweet narrative tension. It's what anytime there's rubber banding.
I'll remember that. I'll remember that.
I hope you do. Sam grabs the cross, and the three escape amid a hail of gunfire, with Rafe and Nadine trapped by security guards in the main auction hall, along with all of the other attendees. Once alone in their hotel room, the three investigate the cross to discover that their next stop is St. Dismas's Cathedral in Scotland to hunt for John Avery's grave. The problem, of course, is that St. Dismas's Cathedral is on land that Rafe now owns.
Yikes. You know, that Rafe... Not a good sign when you own the cathedral grounds. That includes a graveyard, and you didn't dig there first looking for buried stuff. I mean, you know by the name it's got buried stuff. I'd look there. Just poke around a little bit. Maybe you'll find something. I just don't think Rafe has that treasure-seeking acumen of our guy Nate. It really makes me respect Nate more. Nate would have been like, we've got to go to the graveyard. Stuff's already buried there. We should look there.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right on. I mean, the graveyard, it just so happens to be far enough from the cathedral that I guess maybe like Rafe just hasn't gotten that far yet. Maybe he'll need like another 5 years to get there.
And you know, the more I think about it, the name Rafe, it even sounds like just a derogatory term for a shovel. Like you wouldn't say that near your shovel, but when you're not around shovels, you're like, I got a rake and a Rafe in the garage. So how has he not dug everywhere in 5 years? You're a shovel.
For those many times you want to stick it to that fucking Rafe-ass shovel that's in your garage.
Yeah.
Just living there rent-free. What a dick.
Ugh. Bunch of Rafes.
And I'll go further. I'll go further with this absurd scenario here and say, did they really need to get St. Dismas's cross to figure out that they should go to St. Dismas's Cathedral? Like, I feel like this whole black market auction scene was really unnecessary.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're at the hotel, and this alone time in the hotel allows room for some weighty conversation between Sam and Sully. Sam, he doesn't really seem to feel any remorse about pulling Nate into this mess, while Sully, he reveals that really the only reason he's helping Nate this time is because of that very lack of remorse. See, Sully says that somebody has to be there to watch after Nate. Keep him safe, I mean, and Nate, he's really kind of our narrative proxy for redemption. Sully, he's too old to change. I'm too goddamn old for this, right? And Sam, he's just too broken to change. He's broken from birth. But Nate, see, he's the sole member of this group with the potential to escape this thieving lifestyle.
Ah, sweet narrative tension.
Oh, you did remember. You weren't lying.
Yeah.
So once in Scotland, Sully waits at his seaplane ready for escape. Sam and Nate's approach to the graveyard, it's relatively uneventful. Very relatively. I mean, they do have to mow through a million shoreline henchmen, sure, but it's less than the usual bajillion henchmen they normally have to murder when Traysure hunting.
Traysure.
And maybe their better goons coupons expired. Goons are getting harder to come by.
They should have listened to our episode 3 sponsor.
Yeah, get that code.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
So they find Avery's grave, and after some puzzly button pressing, they open a hidden staircase that leads underground to a crypt. So many of our Uncharted treasure hoarders seem to have an awful lot of time to build elaborate structures meant to hide their treasure. You'd figure that being on the run from the law, which many were in these games, that they'd have, more important priorities.
I am Pirate John Avery here, matey. I'm gonna build a big windmill in the middle of the sea there, matey. A big tower there. Hey there.
Big tower, big windmill?
Yeah, right in the middle of the sea there, matey. Hard to get
right
to.
Right in the middle of the sea.
Yeah, you can't get there unless you got a big old ship. Yeah,
so we have to build another ship for this as well. Because all our ships are off doing pirate stuff. So we got to build a ship and then take it out to sea and build a lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouse. That's a better way to describe it. Yeah.
Did you call it a house with a light on it? What'd you call it?
I really got basic with it there, matey. I said you build a tower and put a light on the top.
Got it. A tower with no light. Okay, so just a tower, no light. Okay, so we're saving money on the light. I guess that's good.
You talk like a landlubber there, matey.
I was raised proper. So what you're saying is we're gonna put a tower, no light, in the middle of an ocean. That it presumably has to go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. So that's a lot of stone. Is that a problem?
There's stone all over, matey. Look around you there, landlubber. You're on the land there. You see the rock.
Look. What was it? Avery, John Avery, Pirate John Avery is your full name, I think.
Aye.
Spot on with that first name, though. Your parents knew what you would become, Pirate John Avery. So, Pirate, I think it's stupid for us to go all the way out to the ocean with your treasure, especially considering that I can literally see the coppers right there on the hill coming after us. So I think what we should probably do is maybe hide the treasure somewhere closer, somewhere that doesn't require all of this additional building and these additional, tower construction and all that kind of stuff. I mean, what do you think? Is that a possibility?
You want to go somewhere underground there, do you, landlubber there?
That would be great.
I tell you what we need, the reef. Get your reef self, start the digging.
Now he's a wolf. I've turned him into a wolf.
I did get some Scotland in there, though. I mean, you did manage to fit that into the pirate.
It's harder than you think it is to do. With one eye shut, I had my one eye shut the whole time. I was full pirate. I'm better with the lingo with both eyes open. I'll remember that going forward. Don't worry, I got it. It'll get better.
I just want to know why this pirate trusted a landlubber to begin with. That was stupid. I don't know why this landlubber with no pirate accent at all somehow managed his way into the skit. That was stupid.
I think the pirate ran out of pirate words and really wanted it to end.
Oh, that seems like a pirate thing. They're very efficient, right?
Just
usually, except when hiding their treasure, as we've learned. So this extravagant crypt where they bury this treasure, it's not just for holding extravagant bodies and maybe extravagant treasure. I don't know. This is just a clue. This is a waypoint along the way. We'll find out. But it also holds puzzles, which are, as always, completely easy to solve. It feels like some form of ludo-narrative dissonance, right? That conflict between what's fun to do as a player and what the narrative says you should do. Maybe like ludo-enigma dissonance, because ludo is like game and enigma is puzzle, like game puzzle dissonance, maybe? Is that a term I can use?
Sure.
Can you say ludo-enigma dissonance in your pirate voice?
Yeah.
You scallywag.
That was perfect. That was perfect. The puzzles in this cathedral grounds adjacent crypt lead them to their next location, a cave that is very much, unfortunately, on the cathedral grounds. Now, this means two things. They have to get closer to where Rafe and Nadine are actively digging, and Rafe should be even more embarrassed that he hasn't found a trace of this treasure yet. Before, when we thought maybe the treasure might be all the way in the graveyard, okay, maybe 15 years of digging, I guess, won't get you there. But now we learn that the treasure might actually be where he's been digging for 15 years. That's just demoralizing. Poor Rafe.
Yeah, poor Rafe. Poor Rafe! You know what, though? The real victim in all of this? Dirt. Just getting fucked constantly because of Rafe.
That's true. I'm sorry, Dirt. The cave leads to a new revelation. Thomas, too, another pirate, one who supposedly died along with Avery during a fight for this treasure. He, too, might be involved in this whole ordeal. That's two, T-E-W, not T-O-O,
Right.
but also it still makes sense either way. He, too, might be involved in this whole ordeal. But how? As they continue,
how indeed.
As they continue navigating the cave, they come upon an alcove with a small crack that allows them to overhear Nadine and Rafe discussing their lack of progress. They disagree over the path forward. Rafe wants to cool it with all the friggin' dynamite, as it seems to generate more rubble than clues, and as he says, quote, I can't analyze rubble. Nadine wants to keep using dynamite, and I'm with Nadine on this.
Yeah, and I could see why. But you know what they really need? Do you remember those dirt elevators from Gears of War where you could just hop in a capsule and it would just take you all the way down into the ground? That's what we need here.
That's what they need. They need that. Or they need that. They need that. So we see in this, I don't know, I was gonna say something. I realized halfway through that it wasn't gonna be funny. So let's never stopped me before. I don't know why it did that time.
They need a fire in the hole there. Arr, with their peg leg.
We see in this exchange just how much power Nadine has over Rafe. She determines that more dynamite is the way forward, and Rafe, he doesn't exactly agree, but he does succumb.
Yeah, you always succumb to the person that has the dynamite. Seriously, it's like the first thing they teach you in henchman school.
Yeah. You'd think it'd be hard to argue with someone with dynamite, but I disagree. I actually think it's super easy to argue with someone who has dynamite, but you can only do it once.
Right. Yeah.
Because they blow you up with it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because of the once.
Yeah.
The big blow 'em ups. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fire in the hole. Yeah.
Back to Nate and Sam, they find another puzzle room. This one contains the only valuable thing they've seen in the entire cave. It's a golden scale with a pile of coins on one side and a golden cross on the other. They do reason that this is a test of greed. See, take only one coin, no more. So they do that. And it reveals their next location, a place called Kings Bay in Madagascar, and more specifically, a volcano in Kings Bay. All this is scripted and etched on the back of the coin. It's a map of Madagascar and then a picture of the volcano. And so they learn all of this just as Nadine arrives, which means, of course, she also learns this, which means the rubber banding continues. Bad guys and good guys are always never far from each other. Say it with me. Narrative tension. Got so close, pirate. John Avery. Fortunately for Sam and Nate, Nadine's henchmen aren't as able to pass the greed test. One of them grabs a whole handful of that golden cross there from the scale, which sets off a series of explosions, which give Nate and Sam enough of a distraction to escape. But don't worry, dear listener, the escape isn't easy. Many henchmen die.
Well, not easy for the henchmen, I suppose. But, honestly, I've been thinking about that greed test. I probably failed that test. And it's because I don't know it's a greed test. I'm just stupid. I would just pick up the cross because it looks cool and be like, oh, look, a cross. I'm just dumb and curious. And I would die because of that.
I'm with you. I do the same thing. There could be a sign literally saying, do not touch this sign. And I touch it because, come on. What does that crazy sign feel like?
Why are they warning me? I got to find out.
I got to find out. So they manage their way to Sully's docked seaplane, where Nate reveals his current theory on all the crosses and traps and tests. He suggests that Avery was recruiting other wealthy pirates. See, Avery sent out crosses to such pirates as invitations. Those who solved the clues would prove themselves trustworthy enough to join Avery in establishing a treasure stronghold where they would pool their treasure together. The combined resources, along with the combined desire to keep the treasure hidden, means, I guess, more protection? I don't know. I'm not really sure what that logic is.
It kind of makes sense to me. So, I enjoy collecting video games, and if I could live in a giant commune with other video game collectors We could combine our collections. We live together to enjoy the spoils of our riches like a bunch of hippies just naked playing video games all day and smoking the, what do they call it? The scoopa? What do they call it? The scuba? Smoking that jiba? That would be my idea of a perfect life.
I still don't understand. How does having more video games mean having more protection from thieves? If anything, aren't you like further incentivizing would-be thieves to become is-be thieves? Like, what was like? There's so many nabbable games in one spot.
I would just think there's just more flabby dudes like me living there that they would be like, well, there's more flabby dudes like him living there. We shan't break in for fear we would disturb one and he be armed with bat or a controller. Just numbers, I guess.
All right, fine. You could always use those extra copies of Double Dribble to like fortify the walls, maybe.
See, there you go. Now you're fighting on my side now. Thanks.
Now I'm thinking. So when Sam and Nate arrive at Kings Bay, they find that Nadine's shoreline goofs. You know what? Goofs. Goofs is what goons is now. Goofs. They find that Nadine's shoreline goofs have beaten them there and are already blowing up random buildings with endless dynamite. Apparently, they didn't learn about the volcano's relevance on the other side of that coin there.
Yeah.
The three good guy thieves, they gun their way through all of the henchmen asses until reaching a tower at the foot of the volcano. They enter the tower, which leads to yet another cryptic map, which displays locations of 12 towers dotted throughout all of Kings Bay. Surely the treasure is in one of them, right? But which one? A clue on the coin that they snatched from that cave at St. Dismas's Cathedral narrows their search down to 2 towers, which are, unfortunately, on opposite ends of Kings Bay. In order to beat Shoreline to the treasure, Sam and Nate decide to split up. Sam takes one tower, Sully and Nate take the other tower. We follow Sully and Nate to their tower in the center of a city market.
Oh, man. You know what? Sam alone, I kind of feel bad. Sully's mustache should have gone to keep him company.
The tower that they head out to turns out to be a clock tower, and the front door turns out to be a locked front door. So Nate and Sully do their standard wall shimmy up into the tower. Inside, they find a pedestal with a coin-sized recess. And you know what? And guess what they put in that coin-sized recess?
Dar. They put in dar the booty.
No, they put a coin in it. Oh, wait, that's what you meant. Okay.
They put in doubloons.
They do. They put in the balloons. The coin triggers a bunch of crazy platforms to swirl around and position themselves in conveniently climbable fashion, leading up to 4 bells that must be rung in a specific order to open their path forward. Or at least that seems like their purpose. Instead, after Nate rings the 4 bells, he rings a 5th, bigger bell at the top of the tower, and the vibrations of this bell cause it to come loose from its hinge and fall and crash to the floor, thereby opening up the path forward into an underground passageway. And I'd personally kind of like to know what the actual in-universe way of opening up this passage was had Nate not accidentally dropped a 1,000,000-ton bell to the ground. And it also gives credence to Rafe and Nadine's just keep digging down until you find something approach. I mean, it would have worked beautifully in this clock tower.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, maybe that's just the way they drew it up. They're like, you hit 4 bells, that doesn't matter, though. That 5th bell, make a big hole in the floor. That's how you get in.
It's true. The winding passageway leads to another puzzle room, this one adorned in full-size statues of our pirate cohorts, Henry Avery and Thomas II. At this time, Nate receives a call from Sam. Sam, obviously disappointed in his search, is delighted when Nate reveals that he and Sully are on the right track. Sam says he's on his way to their successful hunt and hangs up. We'll get back to the short phone call in a very short bit because it bothers me. So Nate and Sully, they solve the puzzle and get a clue onto the next destination, Libertalia, which is a mythical pirate utopia in Madagascar, just north of Kings Bay. Good. Well, good. Great. Grand.
Great.
Okay, back to this stupid cell phone.
All right.
At this point, Rafe, he actually calls Nate directly. Now, during this call, we learned that Rafe hacked Nate's phone and now has all of the photos Nate recently took, which includes photos of the clues leading to the next destination. Yeah, Rafe just hacked Nate's phone.
Huh.
Now, I've said it before that one of this series' only real weak spots is how much it relies on coincidence to keep the heroes' and villains' progress tethered tightly together. But this hacked phone twist is by far the series' lowest low. It just screams laziness and an otherwise fairly justified series of events.
I know, right? And what's most unbelievable of all to me is that if I hacked Nate's phone, I'm first going to be looking for some lewd selfies. I'm not going to waste my time looking for pictures of old artifacts or clue nonsense. Fuck that. We'll see that chest.
Yeah, and if you look like Nate, damn right your phone's full of lewd selfies.
Yeah, dude.
I would never stop taking pictures of myself.
And they would be tasteful lewds.
That could happen. That's a possibility, I suppose.
That's a website I own, Tasteful Lewds.
A hacked phone also means access to Nate and Sully's exact coordinates. This means goofs. Lots of goofs. And in this case, the goofs usher Nate and Sully to one of the greatest chase sequences in all of video games. It's almost good enough to forgive the hacked phone nonsense.
And you know what? I have to point out, I think Goov is the name of a user in our Discord, so he's getting a big shout out tonight, Goov. Get him, bud.
Keep failing to kill the heroes. Do it. So Nate and Sully, they shoot through dozens of bad guys until hopping on a Jeep and speeding their way through the residential outskirts surrounding the city market and the clock tower en route to Sam, whom Nate believes to be in trouble. The chase leads them to a convoy, which Nate decides to grapple hook his way onto, turning the Jeep chase scene into a drag Nate through the mud scene. He handles the transition very well, ultimately reaching the front of the convoy where Sam is riding a motorcycle trying to outrun the convoy full of goofs. A sudden T-bone wreck overturns Nate's Jeep, turning him into the rescuee instead of the rescuer, and Sam pulls his brother to his motorcycle, and the two finish the chase on top.
It's always better to be on top of a motorcycle. And I know what folks are thinking. Wow, that was a lot of action. We had near death after near death. We got muddy clothes right now. We got scrapes, cuts, big old boo-boos. We got wet clothes. No food for hours. I haven't seen Nate eat in years. It would be nice for the three guys to maybe take a break, retreat to their safe, warm Holiday Inn hotel room. Maybe it doesn't have Elena in it, because remember, she's not super into what they're up to. And they can go back and relax as dudes, watch a little Columbo, a little rerun of Columbo, maybe some Carol Burnett show. Really take in the night. They deserve it.
That sounds great. That sounds great, Travis.
Right? Yeah.
There's just one problem.
Yep.
Yeah. The hotel, it contains a whole lot of Elena. Like the whole thing, the arms, legs, face, everything is there. Yeah, it sucks. So our three thieves, they just walk in to the hotel room and catch Elena perusing their various clues. Now, surprisingly, Elena gives Nate a chance to explain himself. Now, that's way more than I might have done in her shoes. Nate, he starts by introducing his brother, Sam, to Elena. Yeah, that's right. They've never met. The scene is really so well done that I think we should probably just listen to it.
Was there ever a Malaysia job?
Come on, wait. Elena, wait!
I don't get you.
Look, I wanted to tell you.
You know what? Enough.
No, I wanted to, but how could I?
I don't know. Just say it.
I had to protect you.
That is bullshit, Nate. You just didn't have the nerve to face me again.
I knew you would react like this.
How would you react? You lied to me for weeks. If you were killed, I wouldn't have even known about it. And now you have a brother. Who are you?
Come on.
You know what? Seems like our guy Nate headed to the naughty dog house. Huh?
Boo. The scene ends with Elena leaving to catch a flight back home, Sully leaving to watch over Elena, and Nate and Sam staying back to continue searching for the Traysure. All in all, it seems on the surface like Elena's appearance hasn't really changed the trajectory of our story. The only change, in fact, is Nate's very apparent frustration, though it's hard to say exactly where it's directed. Is he mad at Elena for catching him in his lies? Is he mad at himself for lying? Or is he mad at Sam for being the catalyst to his fracturing relationship with Elena?
Or is he mad that Rafe has access to all his lewd selfies? Huh?
I think that's the only good thing about this, is someone gets to see your lewd selfies when you look sweet as hell. So,
That's fair, yeah.
yeah. So now we're going to do some fades. We're going to fade out here, and we're going to fade in to a familiar boat. It's the very boat from our story's opening that Nate and Sam are piloting. Only the shoreline boats and their gun-toting crew, they haven't arrived yet.
Ooh.
The brothers, they arrive at an island. Sam comments that this island they arrive at is much smaller than they imagined it would be. You know, the tales of Libertalia are that the city is huge. This island, however, is quite small and barren. Now, if you've been following along, you probably get the sense that this island is just yet another waypoint in the hunt. And if you haven't been following along, I get it.
Yeah, you're just here for pirate stuff. That's fine.
That's great. We offer it in troves of treasure.
Yeah,
chests,
you're
right?
a pirate freebooter there, hey.
Deep exploration of the island reveals a series of guideposts leading to a central stone fortress that has seen better days. This fortress has largely been reclaimed by gravity and nature. Inside, they solve a few puzzles that point them to a different nearby island. It's the journey to this island where our intro scene shoreline friends show up to gun our heroes into the sea. Coincidentally, Nate survives and gets washed up on the very island they're heading toward. Unfortunately, he is without Sam. Nate takes off in search of his brother. The patrolling shoreline goons, they don't make the search easy.
Yeah. And I really don't know if people wash up anywhere still alive. You never see that in the news. You know, like people always wash up dead or just their feet. You know, it happens a lot in movies and games. People wash up alive, but I don't think it happens in real life.
That's true. I can see, like, swimming up to the shore, or even floating up to the shore, or I said swimming, right? Swimming up to the shore.
That. There's really only
okay.
Just the two, the swimming and the floating. Mostly the two ways you can do it.
Yeah, because one of the ways you really can't do it, like the phrase "washing up the shore," it kind of necessitates dead body. It implies a lack of concerted effort of musculature. Right?
But it happens all the time. They're like, he was just knocked in the back of the head with a 2x4, fell off a boat, and floated 2 miles to shore and just washed up. He was good. Like, nope, not how anything works. Not how anything
Maybe they
works.
mean he was in the ocean for so long that all of the blood from the back of his head that got into his clothes was washed off.
Right, he's got cleaned up.
So he washed up to shore, maybe.
Okay.
I doubt that's what they mean.
Probably.
After some clever sleuthing, they find evidence of a large pirate colony. Much like every other structure they found in the middle of island jungles, this colony is falling apart. Still, though, it's pretty amazing that they finally found Libertalia.
Yeah, man, and I was going to bring it up earlier. I really was. And I've been trying to make this podcast a little bit higher brow. I know we got a reputation.
Have you?
We got a reputation for poop guns and all kinds of stuff. And I'm just, I'm doing pirate stuff. This is kids' humor. I could work all day at SeaWorld with this bit. But I have to say it, Libertalia sounds like a fancy term for the Statue of Liberty's genitals. And I can't stop thinking about it like that. I'm sorry to everyone. Go on without me. I'm sorry.
There's the tour guide going up on the elevator of the Statue of Liberty's crown. So, like,
we're starting here at the Libertankle. That's Liberty's ankle. And up we go to the Liberty. All right. And you feel that? You feel that? It's getting a bit humid, isn't it? Yep, that's because we're approaching the Libertalia.
Huh.
But don't worry. We can all soon cool down with a refreshing drink at the snack shop inside the Libertits.
Oh, wow. It was starting to smell like the Libertalia to me. I don't know about you guys, but I know they got a Long John Silver's in there if you guys want to stop in.
And there's the one really annoying guy in the tour who's been on this tour 400 times and really wants to prove to everyone how much an expert he is. So just before the tour guide can say Libertalia, he's like, "We're almost there. We're almost there to the Libertalia. I know it. See my shirt? Libertalia fan right here. Oh, yeah. This is a good one. This is the best part, guys. Pay attention. Yeah, you can really feel it. You can feel it. You can feel the flaps. There's one of the flaps.
One of the most people take their lewd selfies in front of the Libertalia.
Yeah. I think it's amazing that the French decided to actually create skin underneath the drapes of the Statue of Liberty.
I always say, is there anything the French don't think about? They're all over it.
So they head off toward a large building with a large guard tower on the horizon. Along the way, they gift dozens of shoreline goon asses with some extra buttholes.
Whoa, hey, I think that would be the opposite of a gift. Just the one for me, please. I'll take the one asshole. Thanks.
God, you're rude. Denying a gift. Once near the large building, now recognized as a treasury building, Sam and Nate discover evidence of a substantially large battle. Who was fighting whom in this supposed pirate utopia? They open the treasury building to find mountains of glorious treasure.
Really?
No. The building is empty, aside from a bunch of hanging portraits of pirates with the word thief scrawled on them, and also a bunch of corpses. Seems like there was a bit of a kerfuffle among the pirates. Nate and Sam deduce that the colonists must have risen against the 11 founding pirates to take back their Traysure. The 11 pirates seem to have restricted access to the Traysure.
And by restricted access, you mean stole and hid the treasure.
Yeah, sure. They stole and hid the treasure from all of the other colonists and transported it to a nearby gated neighborhood area of Libertalia called New Devon. According to a map painted on the ceiling of the Treasury building, New Devon is where all of the rich folks hang out. It's full of mansions and is surrounded by a giant stone wall. Avery and his 10 pirate cronies basically turned Libertalia into just a regular-ass city with official currency, class divides, and a rich ruling class. And where there is unfair social divide, riots and civil wars will eventually follow.
Arr. You know, and once again, New Devon, not showing up on those Google Maps. Remember Tree Sap Land we saw last episode? Google really needs to update it.
Maybe it is on Google Maps, and Nate and Sam are idiots and just don't know what it means. They didn't download that app.
Yeah, okay.
They're still using MapQuest on their cell phone.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I could see Sully doing that. Yeah.
Their trek to New Devon is unsurprisingly hindered by a bunch of goofs who are jealous of their goon friends for having only one butthole each. Nate and Sam gladly help to bring some equality among the goons. Extra buttholes for everyone, and
Yay!
you get to keep the bullets.
Actually, I don't know why I said yay. Count me out. I'm one butthole for life. One.
But you know what? There's one bad guy who isn't willing to accept an extra butthole so easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nadine. Nadine appears, and well, she kicks the hell out of Sam and Nate, keeping them occupied long enough for Rafe to arrive.
I am with Nadine here. I mean, in terms of the one butthole thing. We're equal on the one butthole front. Nadine and I, on the one butthole army, we're right there, hand in hand. I think she's a real rapscallion from a personal standpoint, though. I'll admit that. I'm like, I don't think she's a great person, but when it comes to one butthole life, her and I, top 3 MySpace friends. Top 3.
Also an app on their cell phone still. So here, a few proverbial tables get proverbially turned. Sam grabs Nadine and holds her hostage. He warns that if Rafe doesn't drop his gun, he will shoot Nadine. Rafe, being the asshole that he is, doesn't drop his gun. So Sam, he pulls the trigger. Now, this is where you would think Nadine's brain would exit her skull. But no, see, Nate, he jumps in just in time to interrupt and pull Sam's arm away. So what happened here is that Rafe was totally cool with Nadine dying, and Nadine is not totally cool with this. And neither was Nate, apparently.
Wow, I sense Nadine might be willing to change sides pretty soon. I mean, she's probably still on Team One Butthole. I want to make that clear. Her and I are still tight. But she might turn anti-Rafe.
Yeah, I sense you are probably correct.
Okay.
But these surprises, they don't end here. No. In a moment of otherwise standard bad guy monologuing, Rafe reveals that it was he who rescued Sam from the Panamanian prison, not Hector Alcazar. Alcazar died in a shootout 6 months ago. Uh-oh. Sam has been lying to Nate this entire time.
Wow, which would mean the entire sequence of Sam escaping from the prison was totally fake?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Like the player themselves feels betrayed at this point.
I do. I'm upset.
Actually kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
I'm mad.
Rafe turned out just bribed a prison guard, and Sam walked right out the front gate. And as for the last 2 years, Sam has been working with Rafe to find the second Dismas Cross.
And of course, our sweet boy Nate, heart of gold, totally eager to forgive this and move on. No big deal, right?
No. You would think so, but no. Nate is not totally cool with this. Rafe is ready to kill both brothers and continue the Traysure hunt, but Nate, he steps in to convince Rafe that he needs the Drake boys to find the treasure. Nafe...
Keep it in. Keep going. I love it. Nafe.
Nafe, but it's mostly Rafe, maybe with a tinge of Nate. Maybe he got some Nate dirt on his arm, but Nafe, he reluctantly agrees, kinda. He says he actually only needs Sam, and so he aims his gun at Nate, pulls the trigger, but Sam jumps in the way of the bullet, taking the hit and knocking Nate down to the river far below.
Oh.
And here we fade out, and we fade back in to Nate waking up on the river shore.
Oh, you don't do that. Once again, I don't think, I'll need to do some research, but I don't think living things just wash up on shores. It happens way too often. But here, at least the fall, it was a pretty far fall. It was far enough down, maybe the bad guys conveniently won't come searching for him. Maybe they think, yeah, maybe he hit his head on a rock or something on the way down there. But
I wouldn't blame the bad guys for thinking that by any stretch of the imagination, no. But even more convenient, somehow, Elena, she's here. She manages to, I don't know, just like find Nate's body on the riverbank. It's kind of weird. But we don't stay with this reunion for long, because we fade back to the past, where young Nate and young Sam break into a mansion courtyard in search of artifacts they claim belonged to their family.
Man, it's like Elena has Nate Dar or something, but yeah. So we left, earlier we left young Nate and young Sam. You know, it was maybe a couple hours ago in terms of this podcast, but they were escaping from that orphanage. And Sam had just told his brother that he had learned the whereabouts of an artifact collector who bought a bunch of their mom's old stuff. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. We're going to get mommy's stuff back. It'll be easy.
So the two boys, they sneak into the mansion through an open second-story window, which of course seems pretty convenient.
Yeah, I mean, hey, rich people don't get rich by wasting money to cool their entire house. They let outside breezes work for them, man. Let's keep them second-story windows wide open. That's right.
I suppose. So their search eventually leads them to the artifact in question, a large white notebook full of their mother's research notes. Now, immediately following this discovery, the owner of the house, an old lady in bad health, shows up with a gun to take back the journal.
She's essentially, she reminds me of the old guy from our previous episode with the beaver teeth who's just on borrowed time and gives the biggest, longest death monologue ever. At least in my universe. I don't think it happens in the game, but we're having fun around here, are we not?
So during the ensuing verbal exchange, Sam and Nate reveal that the journal belonged to their mother, Cassandra Morgan, and the woman reveals that their mother once worked for her and was, as she says, the most brilliant historian I had ever known.
She was the most brilliant historian I've ever known. And listen, I don't have a lot of time left in me, but I need to tell you about your mother, Cassandra. What was her middle name? Leanne, maybe? Elizabeth, maybe? Well, don't matter. Cassandra Morgan. Last name was Morgan. Did I tell you boys were Morgans? Cassandra Morgan. She knew about all kinds of history. I mean, you name it. Classical era, ancient Greece, Rome, Persia. I mean, you think about Middle Ages. I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine. We got plenty of time. late antiquity. She was an age of the early modern era, you know, Renaissance, the Enlightenment period now, Age of Reason. You think I'm starting to see the light. You think modern era was her weakness? Wrong. She was a wizard of the Industrial Revolution, Age of Imperialism, Victorian. I tasted blood. A little bit of blood. Victorian era, Great Depression, both World War. Listen, I don't feel very, very good. I get lightheaded. And I have some bad news.
I'm going to cut you off there. She goes on to say the discoveries, which were documented in the journal, were to be Cassandra's crowning achievements.
And of course, those discoveries involve the very pirate treasure that Sam and Nate have been hunting for the last several hours.
This treasure hunt has strong family ties, which speak to Sam and Nate's motivation. We also learn that official history states that Sir Francis Drake did not have any heirs.
And, as we already know, this means Sam and Nate are not actually descendants of Sir Francis Drake.
Sorry. That's correct. But this old lady and Cassandra Morgan, they theorized that otherwise, that Sir Francis Drake maybe did have heirs. The old woman gives the boys their mother's pirate journal just as police sirens begin to sound in the distance. See, the old lady had called the police before she realized who the boys were.
That was my bad news. I was going to tell you before Caleb just kept on reading the script. What an asshole.
Yeah, I
don't
probably
like
shouldn't
him.
have cut you off so quickly there.
What a dick.
Yeah. General rule of engagement with people, as soon as if they say they have bad news, maybe give them a couple more words. don't cut them off immediately. That was my bad. Sorry. So the situation gets worse when this old lady suddenly keels over dead. Oh. I did say that she was in bad health, and it turns out she was in very, 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 very bad health.
I told y'all I didn't feel good. I remember
How are you
saying
still
it.
alive? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
After evading the cops in an effort to ensure that the cops stay evaded from, Nate and Sam adopt the Drake surname.
Yeah, their first step in continuing their mother's legacy is to abolish their mother's name from their own names. Bold move. Bold move.
Gotta respect it. So we fade back to the present, where Elena is nursing Nate back to health.
Oh, gross. He was just a boy.
She couldn't see the flashback. She didn't see that part.
Oh.
Yeah.
That confuses
me.
me.
To her, he's always just been a man.
He's just been a man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Never mind then.
So the next step in this absurd journey is to rescue Sam from Rafe. I know what you're thinking. Fuck Sam.
Yeah.
But Nate's a good guy, and Sam is his brother. So Elena radios Sully to meet them at the northern side of the island, where they hope to find Sam and make a quick rescue. And before I go on with his bullshit script, why wouldn't Sully just take them to the northern side of the island in his plane?
Right? You've got the plane. You've got a mustache. Let's go.
Do it. Hey, so Sully, he asks about the treasure, to which Nate responds, forget it. Has Nate this time actually given up his hunt for treasure? It really does seem so. So the two take off toward New Devon, where they think Sam might be.
Or they think he might be, which is like saying, hey, let's go get lost in this general area.
They use some of Henry Avery's own wooden elevators to ascend up the island cliffs.
Oh, wooden elevators, or as I like to call them, no fucking thanks machines.
They are exactly as unsafe as they sound.
Yeah.
But of course, we know that Nate and Elena aren't into safety. This is exemplified yet again when the two infiltrate one of Rafe's outposts, shoot a bunch of dudes and all their parts while dodging bullets before stealing a Jeep to, get to where Sam might be faster.
Yeah, or get lost faster.
Yeah. So the game is beautiful, to be fair. So I'm okay with them getting lost for a few hours. But despite the Jeep, their journey is actually pretty slow. It turns out mountains are hard for cars.
See, I don't know. I've seen a Toyota Tundra commercial, so I tend to believe otherwise.
They arrive at the walls of New Devon to find evidence of a mass grave with skeletons hanging in gibbets.
It's pronounced gibbets.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, no one likes to know it all.
Yeah, Elena, no one likes a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Jerk.
Yeah. So these gibbets are dotted around the entrance as warnings to any colonists who might try to push their rebellion past the guard walls. Nate and Elena use binoculars to survey the area. They spot Sam, alive, along with Rafe and Nadine, marching toward one of the biggest mansions of New Devon. This, presumably, is Avery's personal mansion, and it seems to be where treasure, if it still exists, would be located.
Yeah. Something very easily discernible via Google Maps, I bet.
17 users have reported treasure here. Oh, it's good. Gotta watch out for that. Nate stealth kills his way through a whole bunch of patrolling henchmen. That is until he doesn't. Yeah. The bullets start flying, the bodies start dropping, and the Nates and Elenas keep on living somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah. While New Devon is impressive, it's just a husk of its former beauty. The entire colony is half submerged in water, with vines and other foliage reclaiming felled walls and rotted floorboards. Honestly, I can't imagine there being any treasure left here, and if there is, it has to be long washed away by the floods, right?
Right. Or you know what? The real treasure is the friends we made along the way, right? Nadine? Was that her name?
Yeah. For the best friends are the ones whose names you think you remember. Yeah.
Right. It's like Nate Dean. It's close to Nate. Nave, there's
I don't
Nave.
like it. Let's change it.
I know there's Nave, there's Nate Dean, there's Nate, and then there's Scully.
Scully.
And
Alana.
Elenana.
On their way to Avery's mansion, they pass through a home that turns out to be Thomas II's mansion. In the dining room, they find a table with several well-dressed skeletons sitting around it. Presumably the clothes were on the bodies before they died. I can't imagine someone sneaking in and dressing up these skeletons, so we'll go with that. Each skeleton has a placard with a pirate sigil placed in front of it. The sigils are those of the founders of Libertalia. Nate wonders aloud about what happened, but he quickly kind of puts it all together.
Oh.
So these guys sparked a full-scale revolt when they claimed the treasure for themselves. Now, they took care of the colonists, but then they had to deal with each other. And I'm guessing things got pretty messy. So Avery and Two invite them up here to,
Abandon our animosities.
abandon the animosities. Avery makes a grand toast. For God and liberty! Arg, ahoy, mateys, all that. And they all take a swig. Except these two. And just like that, all the treasure of Libertalia becomes the sole possession of two men.
And these two men, Thomas II and John Avery. So with Two's men are now ransacked, they head toward Avery's place. Guess what happens when they get there?
Dar, they get a sea dog on their poop deck. Dar. Huh?
Nope. Want to try again? One more?
Yeah, they get a barnacle there, you see there, matey, on their blackjack. Huh? They get their
No.
they get their jollies rogered.
Close. That one, close. A bunch of shoreline goofs are waiting for them. But not just that. These shoreline goofs, they have guns. Which is, well, I guess that's probably expected. I mean, like, what if they didn't have their guns? What if they forgot their guns? They're just like, all right, guys, fellow goofs. Goof 1, Goof 2, Goof 3, and me. You can call me Steve. Let's all.
Oh, hi, Steve.
Let's all. Hey, thanks, Goof 2. You're always my favorite goof. So let's all get together and let's stand here. And when they come through, when the good guys come through the walls, right? Let's all shoot them, right? All right, everybody, get your guns out.
Okay. Hey, wait, hold on a minute. Throwing my hand up now, because
yes,
I don't have a gun. Would you say gun? Was it gur? What was that? I don't have one.
Well, you know, I said gun, and
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't be too embarrassed about this because I had to drop my hand from my gun to point at you to say yes, ask your question, and I realized upon doing that, I dropped my hand away from nothing. I was holding nothing.
Wow.
That's weird, right?
I did think it was weird. I was like, what is he sitting like that for? Is he in a karate stance? But you were pretending to hold a gun you didn't have. We don't have guns.
At the time, I was holding a gun, and later realized that I was not holding the gun. So I don't know if I was pretending, so to speak.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I was into it. I was like, if someone walked through that door, I would have aimed it at them. You
Understood.
know?
Steve, if you don't mind, I don't mean to be out of line. I know you're the lead goof here, but
no, please go. I love you, goof too.
I don't think we're going to be able to shoot anybody without any gun.
Well, let's spitball some ideas. What can we do? What can we do to make up for the situation? Right?
You said spitball. I think that's a good idea. Right there.
Oh my god!
Just
Get out your
with
straws and your toilet paper. Get it out.
Oh,
you guys brought those though, right? That's
absolutely.
standard stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, I just got to fish it out of my rectum.
Oh, here they come.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I got them. I mean, they're mad at us. They're looking at us right now like very angry.
Yeah.
But it's stuck to their faces.
We hit them with them stink wads.
So would you believe that Nate and Elena, they have no problem killing all these goofs? And would you further believe that Avery's mansion is full of secret doors that open to secret passageways? And would you believe that these passageways are full of booby traps and more gibbets. And would you believe that Nate and Elena eventually find a room full of Traysure? I'm just kidding. It's full of bad guys with guns, you fucking idiot. Yeah. So they're still guns, so it's still worth like being a little frightened.
No, I was surprised. Although those are genuine.
They continue on, and they ultimately arrive at a ship graveyard, which is a lot like a regular graveyard, except it's full of ships.
My God, can you imagine how long it would take to bury a friggin' ship in a ship graveyard? Ships are friggin' massive.
The dead ships are full of alive bad guys that Nate and Elena make dead. In a somewhat anticlimactic scene, they find Sam. Well, it's not even really a scene. They just kind of like find him in the middle of all their goof killing. He joins Nate and Elena in their pirate ship graveyard fight. And this fight, it's a bit of a doozy. So they jump across multiple ships and they swim through narrow corridors. And they even outrun a giant shoreline truck with a roof-mounted turret gun manned by someone with very bad aim. And eventually, guess who shows up with an RPG to put the gun truck down? It's Sully.
Sully, you know what, though? I can't help it. When you say he shows up with an RPG, I just imagine him throwing copies of Final Fantasy X at the truck frisbee style. I just can't get over it.
Yeah. I think of like a role-playing grenade. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty, let's see here. I am called Boomy of the Black Powderians, and I am a chaotic neutral capable of...
Let's roll it.
Aw, dang it, a 3.
3?
Capable of only malfunctioning, causing 2 hit points of damage to myself.
Oh, poor role-playing grenade. You know what, though? Boomy of the Black Powderians?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, noble among his people.
I imagine so, yeah. There's not many of his people left, actually. A very short lifespan.
A lot of suicides, yeah.
Yeah, those grenades are... Yeah. they get their keys caught on their little pin just once, and it's like boom. Now, with a moment to breathe, Sully, Nate, Elena, and Sam take a few minutes to catch up. Now, part of this catching up includes a bit of disagreement as to what to do next. Nate, Sully, and Elena want to escape the damn island as quickly as possible. And Sam, well, he still wants to go after the Traysure. Sam here is being a real piece of shit. Pardon my French there.
Oh,
pardon my French.
No,
yeah.
Pardoned.
Sam makes a pretty convincing case for the next step in their Traysure hunt. But Nate, he's actually committed. He's really fully actually committed to quitting the Traysure hunting nonsense. They are ready to get off the island, and Sam reluctantly goes with them. The reunited group of 4 head towards Sully's plane.
Yeah, and that has you thinking, that's it? That's all she wrote?
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna leave the treasure and Rafe and be quitters? What?
Nope, we're not doing that.
Okay, good.
Sam almost immediately abandons the group. And, of course, the remaining 3 realize that Sam is headed on a suicide mission, and, of course, the 3 good-hearted thieves take off after Sam to rescue him again. But the group of 3 turns to a group, I guess, of 1, just Nate, when Elena and Sully are forced to split up when a rickety passageway cleaves their group in 2. So now we're just Nate heading off to rescue Sam.
All right.
And the journey is long and quiet. Really, there's very little music. The sense of isolation is super, super effective. And at one point, we cut to Rafe and Nadine. They found quite a bit of treasure and are currently loading it into one of their 2 boats. Their other boat, well, Sam, he steals it. This event causes a rift between Rafe and Nadine. Rafe wants Nadine's men to chase Sam, but Nadine is done with this whole damn thing. Most of her men are dead. The cave they are inside is rigged with Avery's traps, and even though Avery's ship, the ship that is certainly full of even more treasure, is in sight, Nadine doesn't want to step foot on it, as it's likely rigged with even more traps. According to her calculations, they've already found millions of dollars in gold. That, plus their lives, is reward enough. But Rafe, well, he's a bit of a dickbag, and he sees failure to get all of the wealth as a 100% failure. like EA or Activision Blizzard. Boom, got him.
Ooh, fucking boom. Oh, man. Rafe then starts singing that one, I guess it's Backstreet Boys song, where he's like, I want it all. Oh, nothing at all. It's annoying.
It's an awkward scene.
It's a cutscene you can't skip, too, and I hate that.
It's weird. And you can skip all of the other ones.
Right?
In fact, it even has a big, you press circle and it's like, sorry, dude. It just says, sorry, dude.
Yeah,
That's
it pops
weird,
up a picture
right?
of Lance Bass. I'm not even sure which band he's in, but it's still his picture. You're like, come on.
Yeah. They know that's weird, right? I think they do.
I think so.
So the argument ends with Nadine's tenuous acceptance to go to Avery's ship, but only after she learns that her men have switched sides. Mercenaries will be mercenaries, after all. Rafe is just paying them more. So now they are Rafe's men, not hers.
Man, and no one expects Nadine and her badassery to roll over that easily. Nobody.
Yeah, I cannot imagine a world in which she doesn't punch Rafe in his stupid face.
His shovel fucking face.
So cut back to Nate, where he sees in the distance an explosion on Avery's ship. The assumption here is that Rafe tripped one of Avery's traps.
Right on time.
The explosion caused Sam to get pinned down by a wooden pillar, so when Nate arrives at the ship, Sam is trapped and unconscious. Rafe holds Nate at gunpoint. The ship is on fire. Things are not looking good for Nate. But quickly, and not surprisingly, things stop looking good for Rafe. Nadine turns on him.
Yeah.
She takes Rafe's gun, then leaves the ship, locking the only exit door on her way out.
Yeah, she kind of screws Nate and Sam here too, but hey, at least she grabbed the gun. Huh?
So Rafe and Nate now, with only the swords they've taken from the corpses of Tu and Avery, who killed each other on this very ship over a fight for treasure, by the way. It's very fitting.
Mm-hmm.
They engage in an epic sword fight as the ship burns around them.
And as you know, over the course of our last 4 games, you've heard Caleb tell these stories, tons of sword fights. I mean, I'm thinking back, episode 1, I was like, when are they going to stop with these sword fights? Episode 2, cut it back a little bit. 3, a little too heavy-handed with the sword fights, honestly. It was like John Wayne with swords. And then 4, I mean, this whole time you've heard us arg and arg about sword fights. So we're ready for this. It's all we've ever done, sword fight in this game. First-person sword fighter. Naturally, the final fight in the series will come down to something that we've all mastered and taken the time to perfect our sword fighting skills. Fuck yeah!
By now, of course, you realize, dear listener, first goddamn time we've touched a sword this entire series. so it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
It's strange.
So the fight, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. There's fire going all around. They're burning up in this coffin of their own creation, so to speak. But it ends when Nate cuts the rope holding a net full of treasure, and the treasure just totally smashes Rafe. Sam and Nate, they then blast their way out of the ship and swim to safety.
Yeah, and Rafe getting smashed by that treasure he wanted. Tasty, tasty poetry. And when we do say Sam and Nate blasted their way out of the ship, again, not with guns, just with just with redneck engineering with pillars and fire. It was something they should have done earlier, but whatever.
I'm surprised they didn't use the sword to cut a hole in the wood somehow. Like, they have the sword in their hand. Apparently we're geniuses with sword fighting. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently.
So now we cut to all 4 of our thieves, Nate, Sully, Elena, and Sam, regrouped at a dock, assumedly later that night. The scene plays out in stark finality, with Sully and Nate promising to put the treasure hunting to rest, Sam going off on his own, and Nate and Elena heading home so that we, the player, can fade to the future, where Nate is once again pushing paper at Jameson Marine, his day job from the start of the game. Man,
that's got to be mind-numbing for someone like Nate. You know, you think he processes a form and then runs outside and clings onto the side of the roof for a few minutes just to feel alive?
But things, they don't actually quite return to normal. See, Elena, she has a surprise for Nate. She's purchased Jameson Marina and has used her contacts in Malaysia to secure a legal permit so that they together can do that Malaysia job that Nate lied about at the beginning of the game. Oh. And Elena, she's going to hire a camera crew to document everything for a revitalization of her old TV show. All in all, this sounds like a damn good life.
Yeah, and Sully, he and his mustache are going to get into real estate together. So, good news for everyone.
But the game's not over. Oh, no. Cut to a few years into the future, Nate and Elena's daughter, Cassie, who seems to be about 11 years old. And this is the first time we've been introduced to Cassie, by the way. I just introduced and said Nate and Elena's daughter, Cassie, as though they've had this daughter before. No, this is the first time we've heard about it. She seems to be about 11 years old, and she's playing her parents' old Crash Bandicoot game.
Aww.
and is expectedly not very impressed by it. That makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
The player then takes control of the girl and is able to explore their beachside house. She finds locked away in a cabinet that she's obviously not supposed to look inside a ton of relics from Nate and Elena's travels. It seems her parents are trying to hide their history from her, but they catch her snooping and, well, they reveal everything to her. So it seems that maybe one more generation of Drakes might catch the treasure hunting bug.
Oh man, we hope. We hope. And I do like the parallels of her snooping and breaking into their somewhat secret or at least restricted spot where they keep these mementos. It's a great and fitting ending. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's talk a little bit about the game and then spend a couple minutes talking about where we think maybe the series would head next. So I freaking love this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love it. And I played it through a few times, and every time the feeling I walk away with is honestly one of jealousy, because I'd like Nate and Elena. They are this couple, this perfect couple that are able to kind of they have all these shared history, these shared memories. They're able to sort of live their life, just sort of recording craziness, the crazy world around them, but now kind of in relative safety. So she's able to sort of document. I have that nerdy documentarian kind of personality. I just like the idea of documenting events and documenting findings and things and just making a narrative about it. So I don't know. I'm just super jealous. I play that and I'm like, I've wasted my life. Why am I not a treasure hunter? Why didn't I go to treasure hunting college instead of some college in the middle of Kansas? Boo.
Good old treasure hunting college. You know, what is that? Is that Drexel? They got a good program there, I think, for treasure. I'm not sure.
CHU.
But you know what, though? And I played this much more recently than you have. You said you played it multiple times, but I just wrapped this game up days ago at this point. And it's funny you said jealousy, because I felt the same way at the end. I was like,
really?
Yeah, they have, nice house, lovely daughter. I'm curious, though, and I don't know if the ending was ever spoiled for you at all. I was always worried that Nate was dead. We would fast forward that 11 years and somehow he would be absent, because I noticed that they didn't share a lot of pictures of him, and the daughter always referred to I got to ask mom for permission about this when she's going through the house, because I went to every room and click on everything, and they never really brought up Nate, or she never said dad in a present tense. And I was like, oh fuck, what happened to Nate? How would they kill him without us seeing it, for one thing?
Oh my god, yeah.
But I would have been
There's
very
no way that they would have. That would have been way too many twists.
I
from
know.
just narratively speaking, it just would have been too much, because it wouldn't have been earned.
I agree.
Death out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
But I thought maybe they were priming me for that, so I got real worried. It was palpable when I was playing it. I was like, oh fuck, and I was afraid to click on anything for fear that I was going to find out that he had somehow died. But then he walks in the room, and honestly, I was like, I let out I was like, oh Nathan, oh, you're okay. Oh, sweet Nate. I was very.
It is true, but I wonder if they did mean the player to think that, because you're right. If she only acknowledges her mom, I gotta ask mom, I gotta make sure it's okay with mom. You're right. But so the real reason then, knowing that Nate's alive, is that the couple has collectively agreed to not allow Nate to make any decisions regarding the child, which is probably smart.
It's smart.
So they've all just agreed. Yeah, you just talk to mom.
100%. Yeah, and I did hold out until the end of this game. I thought at some point, at one point Sam does kind of become a bad guy because he lied, but I thought he was even more, I thought he was going to be more twisty than that. And there's something just even about this is bad judgment on my part, but even his character's design and mannerisms, I really just thought he was eventually going to be a bad guy, because we're so primed in these series that the guy you're close to at some point turns on you. And I was like, man, Nate's brother's flipping on him, that'd be the ultimate twist. But they didn't do it.
The only reason I didn't think that and I didn't expect it is because that seems expected. And I know the writing writers, Amy Hennig, I think, was one of the writers for this entire series. I've played enough of her games and like are familiar with enough with her like sort of style that she wouldn't allow something that expected. You know,
right,
like,
right, okay.
It's just like there really aren't too many. I'm trying to think back through all of the games we played and stuff. I don't think there were too many like traders like that were surprises. Like any trading that traders are like shifting back and forth was something that was telegraphed, and so that was part of the, you know, among thieves idea. Like these thieves all kind of are inherently kind of corrupted to some degree, and so for them to trade or become traders at the end would almost be like, yeah, so I mean they're thieves, like whatever. Like it wouldn't have surprised me, I guess, if and I think they knew that if Sam were to become a trader, it really wouldn't be that surprising.
Yeah,
because they're thieves, you know.
I guess Harry might be the only one that kind of came close. I was always worried about Charlie Cutter. I thought he was going to flip at any minute. I think that's to their credit in that they're able to create characters that are able to keep at least someone like me, who's I'm not so versed in in one writer's work that I could feel any comfort with the story. But the whole time I was like, all right, either Sam or Sully's mustache is going to fuck someone over at any minute. But you know what, though? The comfort I feel at the very end, knowing that those were trusted folks that were with me along the way. Because like you said, it's so easy for someone, you know, it's the Great Expectations, you know, kind of the classic twist where whoever's closest to you is also kind of the bad guy, and that could happen at any moment. It always gets, I mean, you know, was it 24? Have you ever watched 24? Like, you can't trust anyone in that fucking show. So I think I'm primed to just expect that if there's so few characters in a game, whoever you're with is going to be the bad guy at some point. And that never happened. And that feels so good. At the very end, to get all the way through the series and Sully's still her bud. And he's still alive.
I think it was great to like have Rafe be like an obvious bad guy, because I mean Sam, even though he's not like the villain, he isn't a good guy. He is still a bad enough guy to cause conflict and tension between Nate and him the entire thing. And it's that tension that keeps things moving forward. Without character tension, there is no narrative, and so they are the narrative. And then it's the obvious bad guy who I think the player can sort of dismiss as, yeah, they're obviously bad. So anytime they're in a scene, that's going to force Sam and Nate to put aside their differences and work together. Whenever Rafe's outside of the scene, then Sam and Nate can sort of be frustrated, can like grind on each other a little bit. And then, except at the end, when Rafe shows up to reveal, like, hey, I'm not the only bad guy here. Actually, Sam is kind of a dick. And then that's when, like, now you have to see the sort of frustration, this grinding, like, with Rafe witnessing it, which is, like, a really, really, really beautiful moment and probably really hard to earn, I guess. I'm guessing there's probably a lot of conversations in the writer's room to be like, we got to earn this scene. Because it could have gone bad, and they did earn it. It was really, really well done.
Yeah, I think so. It was a very riveting game. I mean, you know, if you boil it down to just the narrative pieces, it's probably an hour. Most of the time you're hanging off a ledge, but they do a really good job balancing that with the first person shooting. I mean, it's just so well done. So I enjoyed my time with these games. I'm glad we covered these. But you know, that doesn't really close the book, because we left almost everyone we like alive. I guess everyone. There's always the opportunity for more. And this game came out in, I think it was 2016. We had the Lost Legacy came out. We're not going to cover that in this series, maybe in a one-off down the line. I've not played it, but I know that is also there. Cassie, though. We have Cassie. We just talked about her. She ran through the house doing a little treasure hunting of herself. She's got it in her, I think. Do you think she comes back?
I think there could be a story worth telling there, because she has her. I think it could be a really fun sort of coming of age. I'm finding myself, but I still need to lean on my parents to guide the way, like literally guide the way through through a dungeon, but also help guide me as a child, even though at the same time I'm trying to distance myself from my parents and prove that I can do things on my own. So I think there's an opportunity to almost have her star in a game. She's treasure hunting, doing whatever, and she's constantly having to check in with her parents on a phone and lie about where she is, and the parents are having to, but the parents know what she's up to, kind of thing. And so
they're smart. We've trusted
they're
these
smart
people.
And so there could be something, I think, there.
I like that.
I haven't thought too much about it, but I think there could be something there.
They
and
never
we also
tell her
saw-
that she's not Sir Francis Drake's heir, and she just thinks they lie to her, and so she just thinks that too. Yeah,
That's true, yeah, because she will think that everything they've said is a lie, even the truth, because they've hidden so much from her.
That's right.
Although part of me thinks that they knew she was going to find that, because the cabinet where they keep all those trinkets is a very delicate, easily smashable, like little cat. It's not like a safe.
Right.
It's like this thing that requires like a little wire key, and
they left
so
that out within reach
they
of the
kind of
cabinet.
knew she would get. Yeah. They knew that. The other big thing was there was at the end of the game, before we even get to Cassie's scene, there is a scene between Sam and Sully, a little exchange there where they seem to be on good terms now, and basically Sam and Sully are talking, and you get the sense that they're going to do some adventuring on their own. And then you also see in Cassie, from Cassie's perspective, she picks up a letter that was written by Sam and Sully, obviously 15 years after they decided that they wanted to do something together, that talks about some adventures and things that they've been doing. So like Sam and Sully have been together doing something for 15 years, probably treasure hunting, probably whatever. So there could very well be a game in that. And I think there's kind of a cool angle, because Nate has always been sort of the goody two shoes kind of character, at least compared to Sam. But Sam and Sully, they bond over the fact that they both smoke, and so and that's supposed to be like the trigger, like, oh, they're a bad guy, or they're gritty, or they're ruffled or whatever, and so they bond over like being kind of that dirtbaggy kind of guy. And so you have two of those kind of guys. I would be really interesting to see like how much narrative they can pull out of people that are very alike, but also have to almost, in order for there to be a narrative, there has to be tension. So they have to establish some sort of tension between these people that are pretty much alike. And so will it be Sully's like wizened self versus Sam's like, I know, just like, I guess braggadocio, like machismo, kind of like, no, I'm better than you, I can do, and they could fight over that. That could be kind of fun. So
Yeah.
I play a game, either one of those.
You know what? That's it for this game, folks. That's it for this series. We did it. I'm going to say this. I think we charted it. I think we charted the whole goddamn thing. It's been charted. You can no longer refer to it as that. You can now play Charted 1 through 4. We've done it. Be sure to subscribe, because, and I know it takes a long time. Caleb and I, we have separate lives, separate hobbies. We come together on Tales. There's 1/3 of the next series written, which means nothing. That's still, we got a long way to go. But please subscribe anyway, so that you'll know when it comes.
And if you would be so kind, if you would, just please rate us. That'd be great. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, there might be a review option. Please go there. Give us 5 stars. Give us 4 stars. Give us as many stars as you want. We really appreciate it. We like to read these reviews, so if you do leave a review, we will probably read it here in the episode. It's really fun for us. We'll read it in one of our many annoying voices. Also, you can reach out to us on Twitter. You can reach out to the actual show account at Tales Lesser. You can reach out to me personally at Caleb J. Ross. You can reach out to Travis at Trav Plays Games.
That's right. You can also send us an angry email. Maybe you want to clarify something we got wrong. Maybe my pirate lingo wasn't on brand. Anything you want. Email us at polykillpodcast@gmail.com. Please be sure to visit polymedianetwork.com. We got more stuff over there, writings, videos, streams, more podcasts. And check out those other podcasts. We got a new podcast coming to the network. By the time you've heard this, it's been out for a little bit. It's called Uncle Doug's DVD Bin. It's about movie narratives. So if you want to check that out, please do it. And I just want to point out that the intro and outro theme to this here podcast was composed by Brad Sucks, who lent us that old tune. Please check out Brad Sucks. He's awesome.
Thank you so much for listening.
And the tale has been told. Arr!